God, here we go again. So all the snow melted again. I was so glad when I saw it was going to go up to like 40 something today. They were going the other direction where they say it was going to be nicer and then it got colder. Now they're saying it's going to be colder, but it gets nicer. But I was so glad I looked out at all the snow's going. I was like, I woke up this morning because I thought it was going to snow like flurry a couple times, but again, we don't have anything like the East Coast. Just we're still the East Coast here, but we're towards the Midwest a little bit, or mid central. I woke up and saw how thick it was. Like, hey, no, no. It's been a particularly snowy year. We're over here by Lake Erie, so we get it. We actually got it more regular than the East Coast, but they got hit pretty hard. Ours were pretty light. The Atlantic coast there, but it's all melted. I'm like, yeah. So I have a sleep study coming up. I don't know if they're going to be able to tie it to the military, but I definitely have a lot of junk going on with that. Yeah, the whole thing is I should have went to the VA from the beginning. It would have been in the records and better care and everything. I just didn't do it because I had my own insurance. I didn't want to burden the system. No good deed goes unpunished. That's guaranteed on this planet. The rest is just an illusion. Oh, look, we're paying the people with good deeds that do good deeds. Actually, inside the ravenous wolves, part of the same system as the other evil that is outwardly evil. Satan's trying to beat up my purchase here. This is a really nice fringe. I might have went with a yellower fringe had I, because online, it's hard to see what the color actually is, But yeah, they are trying to make trouble here. Metaphysics. I can read metaphysics. My curses are starting to effectuate. But this looks fine. It's an antique gold one. I might have went with more of a yellow. They had one that was mixed. I thought that was maybe one I'm going to go with. But wait, they're attacking everything here. Are they online? Is that what it is? Trying to hold it up there and take a look at it. I think the deeper gold is probably better. Ooh, how did that happen? That's weird. Yeah, the yellow gold can be kind of cartoonish sometimes. So you can be disabled, be an activist. The question is whether she set that whole thing in motion once she saw them. Again, what is the nature of her disability? How does she know? Where did it happen? Is it a car accident? Is she litigious? There's a lot to that. Well, it's just the bottom line is this: the officers didn't do anything wrong. Again, maybe the after arrest. I don't know what all went down there, what they saw. But as far as if you're driving a vehicle, you have a requirement to negotiate law enforcement officers' instructions. And if they tell you go, you have to go. I mean, it's not that I understand she has a disability, but if she can't figure out if I drive around the block, I can get there, then she probably shouldn't be driving. Well, because ICE isn't the only person that's out there that's going to say, "Hey, lady, keep going, keep going." Right. And again, what could have caused the confusion? She doesn't want to say it. See, that was another thing in statement analysis. What was causing her to have the disruption? She wouldn't say the whistles and the screaming. It was only the officers. They're the only ones. Right. The stalkers that they call protesters, they're stalkers. They're not protesters. Tons of people on the planet are stalkers now. They were trained to stalk their neighbor. Did I leave my recycle bin out there? I have an. Oh no, here it is. I have an indoor recycle bin for all my stuff. You can't put it in bags, but I'm not. I put it in a bag and then I dump it in the recycle thing. But see, that's how they treat me in my life. Like they treat ICE all day long for like 30-something years. So I know what it is. Why the psychological operators focused on killing me first? It had to be Russians. Had to be Russians. And organized crime, Russian organization. Right. They were there before that, but I think that was the big move when the Russians moved to take over. Russians cannot buy the most expensive apartment. Don't think they own it anymore, but can't buy the most expensive apartment in New York without being corrupt deep state and owning. That's why Russians are so rich and Americans are so poor. Deep state sold out. It's still going on. Now it's the Mexicans and the Hondurans and all them. Yeah, Schumer sold to the Russians before he sold to the Central Americans. So like, more, you're anti-immigrant. No, immigrants are anti-more. They had more. What do they call that thing? Deranged. They had more derangement. They had Lawrence Moore derangement syndrome before they ever had it against anyone else. But that's actually a spycraft thing. It's an indication that spies are operating, no matter what they call themselves. Derangement syndrome is what it's not even real, but what it's described as is it's a spycraft induced thing. So when you hear, if you see derangement, then you know spies are probably involved, criminally operating spies, like the ones that train the cartels. And it's not just me. I had enough people around me when I was with the Hare Krishnas. They said, "What the hell's going on? You do a good deed, and they try to act like it's like you're harming somebody." Well, that's because all those people in the government that are criminals that work for social media now, out there trying to sway the world into the corrupt criminal thing that they are. Oh, but I have a law enforcement badge. No, that's why they're going after ICE, because they're trying to end the deep state. That's what that really is. All those foreigners, that's deep state. And they do deep state shit to their neighbors. And they get paid big houses and go, "Well, he's a sucker. Wants to go to Casino Santa Fe and party with the devils." Believe me, you're all paying hell. Well, stay peaceful, praise God, and all that you do, praise God.